Welcome to Critical Reflections. Today, we're re-examining the commonly held view that Prophet Muhammad was the unlettered prophet. Literacy empowers individuals by enabling them to access information, communicate effectively, and foster personal growth. In contrast, illiteracy can result from factors such as physical or learning disabilities, lack of resources, or even a conscious decision to reject education. This is the second part of our analysis. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, please do so to get a complete picture. So, if someone claims the prophet was illiterate, what do they really mean? If he were illiterate, there are only 3 possibilities. Either he had physical or learning disabilities, he lacked the resources and opportunities to learn, or, worse still, he consciously chose not to pursue literacy. First, some might imply that the prophet had physical or learning disabilities that hindered his ability to read and write. But may Allah protect, it is highly unlikely that the prophet had any physical or learning disabilities. Such impairments would undermine his capacity to fulfill the role of a divine messenger, casting serious doubts on his prophethood. Second, the possibility that he lacked the resources or opportunities to become literate. However, mainstream tradition shows otherwise. The prophet encouraged his companions to learn to read and write. For example, tradition states that he even ordered the war captives from the Battle of Badr to teach his companions as part of their ransom. This clearly demonstrates that opportunities for literacy were available in his community. And thirdly, if the prophet had both the ability and the resources to become literate but consciously chose not to, that would amount to hypocrisy and would tarnish his example as a leader. For the sake of argument, even if he were initially illiterate, why would he not seize the opportunity to learn and set an example for his followers? This possibility must be seriously addressed by those asserting his illiteracy, as it raises critical questions about his character and prophethood. For the sake of argument, even if we consider that the prophet might have been illiterate in the very early days of his prophethood, why wouldn't he seize the chance to learn and set an inspiring example for his community? Each of these possibilities, when examined closely, raises critical questions that those asserting his illiteracy must address. Questions that, frankly, cast serious doubt on such claims. If the prophet were illiterate, the written tradition of the Quran could only be traced back to his companions, not directly to him. His direct involvement in verifying and correcting recitations was crucial for the Quran's meticulous preservation. Without his ability to confirm its content, the authenticity and precise wording of the Quran would rely solely on the memories and records of his companions, undermining its divine transmission. In short, if the prophet were illiterate, we'd have to settle for a written Quran that stops at the companions. Hardly a divine guarantee. Furthermore, consider the existence of letters addressed to kings, such as the famous letter to Heraclius. If the prophet were illiterate, these documents would have been entirely dependent on his companions for their composition and verification. Now imagine this. When Gabriel commanded Iqra, read, in the name of Allah, as revealed in Surah Al-Alaq, 96 verse 1, it's like someone saying, "Hey, go ahead and read this out loud." If the prophet were truly incapable of reading or writing, why would Allah and Gabriel kick off the revelation with that command? They surely knew his capabilities. And if they didn't, we'd all be in for a very confusing lecture. In conclusion, those who argue that the prophet was illiterate must clarify which possibility applies. Was his alleged illiteracy due to physical or learning disabilities, a lack of available resources, or a conscious decision to reject education? Moreover, they must acknowledge that if he were truly illiterate, the written version of the Quran would be traceable only up to his companions, not directly to him. Thank you for watching our deep dive analysis. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, share and subscribe for more critical thinking and discussion videos. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this argument? Do you believe that the prophet knew how to read and write? Food for thought, isn't it? See you next time. Peace be upon you.